Good afternoon, everybody. This is the first ever Global Water Challenge organized here in Finland, Helsinki. You are most welcome to participate the first roundtable we are organizing here at Think Corner at the University of Helsinki. We are going to have a lovely and very super exciting panel. I'll introduce them a little bit later, but first we'll welcome our keynote speaker, Santtu von Prune from City of Helsinki. His domain is in innovation and urban experiments. Santtu, welcome.
Hi, I'm really excited to be here today because I think this event and the Global Water Challenge brings together very themes that I believe are essential to our city and also will have a global impact. If I look at cities, cities are the key players in innovation and global change. They are hubs for R&D, entrepreneurship, co-creation, innovation, and adoption and driving of new ideas. And City of Helsinki has been a forerunner in innovation and sustainability for a long time. In Helsinki, this is reflected in our new city strategy, where Helsinki has set its goal to be one of the leading innovation ecosystems in Europe, and where the whole city is developed as an innovation platform for co-innovation and experimentation of new solutions. The underlying aim is to create new economic growth, but at the same time to really find the best new solutions for the city and ultimately to improve the life of the citizens. There is an urgent challenge for all of the cities. We rapidly need our lives, our economies to become more sustainable. But single cities or even countries cannot solve the big challenges like climate change, loss of farmland, loss of biodiversity on their own. So we need really to engage, enable the collective innovation power of big companies, of startups, of people, of academia, of investors, of other cities and countries across the globe. These challenges, at the same time, are also one of the biggest, if not the biggest, opportunity to innovate, to create game-changing solutions and to make new business. The problem is there, the market demand is there, now we just need the solutions. One of the biggest global challenges is water. If you look outside, it doesn't look like we need more water in Helsinki, but even in Helsinki, there are numerous challenges related to water. Waste management, flood water management, and so on. But globally, water is maybe one of the biggest challenges. Without water, we will not be able to survive. We need to take care of these resources for ourselves and for the future generations. We all need to help create new solutions, learn from the best, and also share what we have already developed. With these words, I warmly welcome you all again and hope that the Global Water Challenge will spark a wave of new innovation. Thank you.
So I'll let you know that Inés Calabuig is the Sustainability Manager at GoHub, who is presenting the actual challenge. And my name is Irina Blomqvist. I missed to tell that. I represent the university, which is the partner in this challenge.
Thank you, everyone, for attending this amazing event. I hope you enjoy what we're going to talk here about today. And well, just by attending this event, you are already a part of this global initiative called the Global Water Challenge. So first of all, I would like to start introducing myself. As Irina said, I'm Inés Calabuig, and I'm the Sustainability Manager of GoHub. But what is GoHub? So GoHub is a CVC and open innovation hub of a water utilities company from Spain called Global Omnium. Currently, this company is the leading company in the world for the digital transformation of the water sector. So GoHub was created in 2019 as a 30 million euro fund to invest in startups from seed to Series A. And we basically invest ticket sizes from 300K up to 3 million euros. Mainly what we invest in is deep tech startups that have solutions that can be applied to smart cities, to the industry, sustainability, and of course to the water sector. Mainly what we do is we help develop and we invest in startups that can promote sustainable digitalizations of cities and of industries. So, but what is the problem today? Okay, this is the main reason why we're here. What is going on in the world today? So as you may know, we're facing a climate crisis, right? Especially for water-related issues. So you know we have water scarcity, especially in Southern Europe, water quality issues, and this is all being accelerated by climate change. So water, it's a strategic resource for countries as well as for the well-being of its population. And just to give you some numbers for you to understand the size of the problem, we're 7 billion people in the world, right? So around 95% of these people have access to mobile phones, to connectivity, to internet. But just 0.5% of this population have access to clean water and sanitation. So as you can see, it's a huge problem, especially since water is the link to social, environmental, and industrial well-being. So moreover, from all the clean water resources that we have, we spend around 20% for industrial processes, which is a huge amount. So we really need to make sure all of these industrial processes are efficient to be more sustainable with such an essential resource as it's water. So this is why the Global Water Challenge was created, because we believe technology is the key to solve all of these problems and for water consumption and water availability as a resource. So the Global Water Challenge is an initiative to find the best technological solutions to connect them with all of these global challenges, right? So our aim is to join forces with all of the stakeholders around the world to connect businesses, environment, as well as technology. So like to fight the climate change, we will need to create the cities of the future that they have to be smart, resilient, and sustainable. And we can do all of this with the help of technology. So we have a mission in the Global Water Challenge. We have 3 main objectives. The first one is to create the largest hub for water technologies or water-related technologies. As well, we want to invest in the best projects to anticipate the future problems that humanity will face. Because right now, we already face COVID, but we don't know what's gonna happen next year. Maybe another pandemic, wildfires, floods. So we really need to be prepared for this. And as well, we want to be strategic partners by connecting the startups with each continent's technological needs. So by realizing the problem, the needs, as well as being technological experts, it's key to understand when, how, and what to invest in, right? And this is what we do. We try to connect technological solutions with the needs of each continent. For instance, Europe has completely different needs and problems as Africa. In Europe, we really have aging infrastructures, so technology it's going to make these processes and infrastructures more efficient. For example, in Africa, they're facing an early digitalization, and they have a lack of resources, so they need to be more efficient and understand exactly where to do these investments, right? So mainly, you can see we have a huge scope for innovation all over the world. So we need to take an advantage, take the opportunity, and really build a more sustainable world. And how do we do that? By trying to invest in startups that will help us with the problems of tomorrow. So as I mentioned, this is a global initiative. We started in New York, where we opened our first office. Then we moved to Barcelona, where we are going to announce the winners in a couple of weeks. Now we're in Helsinki, and for 2022, we're going to move to Quebec and many more cities to come. So these are some of the problems we identified in this specific region that we're looking startups to help us with. To name some of them, we are looking for solutions for automation of industrial processes. We're looking for solutions related to smart water, snow melt runoff, flood prevention. And what kind of technologies we're looking for? As I mentioned, we're looking for disruptive technologies, such as AI, quantum computing, 5G, among others, that can help us anticipate the problems we're going to face in the future. And what do we offer? Mainly, we offer investment to the startups. We offer for the winning startups the opportunity to be a part in the GoHub Ventures program, where we invest up to 3 million euros. As well, we have the chance to have a remunerated proof of concept with the Global Omnium company, where the startups can test their technology. As well, we have a global network of experts, top companies and mentors that can help the startups. And of course, they will be a part of our portfolio, and we will help them commercialize their solutions. And I think this is one of the most important slides for us, because it shows how we are not just a regular investment fund, but we are rather a strategic partner. So this is like the ecosystem, innovation ecosystem that we've built within our companies. And we have the water know-how through Global Omnium, which has more than 130 years in the water sector. Then we have access to a global technological market through Idrica. And we also have access to technological transfer and innovation through GoHub. And this is a bit of information about the startups we're looking for. This you can check it out in our website, the globalwaterchallenge.tech, and you will have all of the information to apply. And well, to finish with, here's a list of our partners. I want to thank them in the name of GoHub for participating in this great initiative. Without them, we'll clearly not be here today. So I want to thank you all for joining us in this challenge. And well, I will sum up everything that GoHub is in this sentence. It is like, do we want to power sustainable innovation through deep tech investment? And right now, we're gonna play 2 different videos from our startups to have a better understanding of the kind of startups we want to invest in. The first one is called Nebot. It's a data service for water-related issues. And second one, it's AllRead, which is deep learning based OCR software for industry. So thank you very much.
For somebody who was born in a drought area in the south of Spain, for me, water is very important. We need to make sure that we understand how much water we're going to have going forward. And also, in a world which is changing and the climate is shifting, our water is putting us at risk in many different locations. We need to understand much better how to deal with those things. And for me, that's key going forward.
I believe that the currency of today is information. And what more important thing to have information on than our most precious resource, water?
Nebot is a water risk infrastructure and analytics company. We forecast and measure everything related to water.
Water is in everything, from snow to vegetation and soil to reservoirs. Just about everything contains a little bit of water, and we aim to digitize that and build a global map of it.
Nebot provides data on a 24/7 basis, which has been difficult to access before.
We collect data from all different sources, from governmental sources to local sources about water in the regions that we're looking at. And then we supplement that with our unique device information.
For our own technology, we've done something quite unique. Measuring large amounts of water is very difficult. It's not something that you can see with your eyes.
Our unique sensor network actually takes advantage of hundreds of satellites that are already above our head. And all of these satellites are producing a signal, which is actually coming down and bouncing off the Earth. And that signal resonates in different ways when it hits water.
Those satellites have cost millions and millions of dollars. With our system, we're able to capture the information that has been otherwise lost.
We can decode the signal using our machine learning algorithms to give you precision accuracy on water, snow, vegetation, and even soil moisture percentage.
We have very cost-effective, very small miniaturized sensing technology that doesn't need to sit in the water.
Currently, the way we measure water is very analog and sort of a manual process. Or it's digital and it's very bulky and expensive. Divirod is designed to be unintrusive and fit in with existing infrastructure.
We can mount our instrumentation in poles, in buildings, from which we can provide unique insights of water where other technologies fail.
This isn't another system that you have to purchase and maintain. All we have to do is deploy our sensors in your area, and you have access to the data on your phone or any computer.
By creating a network of our sensing technology, we're providing the data downstream to everybody living in the municipalities. We're democratizing the data.
For agriculture, municipalities, and those who face water risk, this information is vital.
Current technologies provide you one data point. Ours provide you the coverage of an entire area.
Divirod's sensor network provides unseen insights into the water around you. And I think water is the biggest asset humans have.
Water affects us all. I'm convinced that Divirod is going to help us making this world a safe place, but also we're going to have a much better use of the most precious natural resource, water.
Hello, my name is Miguel. I'm the CEO and co-founder of AllRead, a plug-and-play computer vision software for smart logistics. We are based in the beautiful city of Barcelona. We are a spin-off of the Computer Vision Center. We are 19 employees, 2-year-old company with strong partnerships like the Mobile World Capital Barcelona and the corporate venture capital of GoHub by Global Omnium. The problem we are trying to solve, we are surrounded by text, codes and symbols in operational environments and supply chains. This information is very valuable. Right now, they are using several hardwares, different softwares to tackle this problem. So we are offering one solution, one computer vision solution to identify, track, control and monitor any asset in the logistics supply chain using the existing cameras. Let's see one example. As you can see the train passing by, our software can access to any camera, security camera, and we can identify the container ID, the wagon number, or any other relevant information for the client. In another example, you see containers coming with trucks in any supply chain hub. We can identify the container ID, dangerous goods symbols, plate numbers in real time with very low latency. We work with Global Omnium in water tech. We got a product that basically we can simultaneously read the meter consumption and the ID or any another code, like a QR code or barcode. We are smartphone agnostic and we accelerate 80% of data management and billing process. It's a product already implemented in several water tech companies like Global Omnium or gas companies like Naturgy. We are already working with more than 20 clients, all of them pay for our technology, and we are expanding to Europe and in other countries. That's it. We are AllRead. Be spotted, be readed, and be digitized. Thank you very much.
Inés, I love your examples you brought to us here today. Very good. So without further ado, I think you've now been introduced, so I'll go to Jesper. Jesper Johansen is here. There was a last-minute change at the IBM side, but welcome, nevertheless, you made it. Good. So you are heading the business development side, is that correct? Or rather the greenhouse initiative is one of your...
Yeah, it's like IBM has several different innovation programs to support startups and innovation teams. And the collective initiative we are driving in the Nordics is called the Greenhouse Initiative, and I'm leading that initiative.
Excellent. That brought you here, I suppose, today.
Yeah, it did.
Certainly. And then we have Vesa Riihimäki today here. I think you've been in many panels before. People most likely know you here in Finland, but anyway, Vesa comes from Nordea, and he's heading the startup funding side, rather, for Nordea, growth programs for startups, etc. That's correct?
Yes. This startup growth means that this is like a customer business unit, and Nordically we have 4,500 startups and scalable growth companies as our customers, and we have two key values for them. Of course, number one is that we use a lot of depth to accelerate their growth, and that's something that banks typically globally do not do, but we do. And the second one is that our global venture partner network, especially the VC funds around the globe, we have a really strong working relationship with them, and we can help our customers to find relevant investors for them.
Exactly. And then we have Chema Nebot. He comes from Idrica.
Yeah, correct.
And you are leading the business development side at Idrica. We here in the Nordics, most likely there's quite a few folks who don't really know what Idrica exactly does. Could you just briefly let us know everything that you are up to, not everything, in a nutshell kind of thing?
Well, okay. I can try to do it briefly. It's difficult, you know. I understand that people doesn't know pretty much about Idrica because we are a young company. We were born in January 2020, so we are just 2 years old company. This statement has some tricky part because I used to say that we are a new co, but with all the knowledge of Global Omnium, that was a company that was born 135 years ago. Okay, so we are lucky that we have both sides of the coin. Like we are the young company and also the company with the background. So in Idrica we sell solutions and services to organizations that manage water resources. We are very ambitious with the goal of our company because we intend to cover the entire water cycle. That means the planning, the capture, the collection, the treatment, also the reuse, and even the agriculture and the irrigation. So, because we understand that this is a problem that we need to fix. So at this very moment, we know that companies have this problem about siloed organizations. They buy like portions of softwares, and it's very difficult to put them all together. So in the first place, in Idrica, we would like to solve this problem, go to a drinking water organization and trying to put together all the solutions that they have, and if they have one gap, try to provide ours. And in the second level, and when we talk about circular economy, it's really important that organizations that are managed individually, because we have different authorities for wastewater, another authority for drinking water, another authority for irrigation. So it's very difficult to talk about circular economy when you are using different pieces of software and solutions. So this is the probably is not the problem that we can solve now, but probably is the problem that we need to fix in 5 years from now. So this is what we are trying to do. It's a really interesting challenge. That's why we need startups and companies revolving around us, because it's very difficult to cover all these ambitious goals. And I would like to say also that one of the main assets of Idrica is its roots. As I said, we come from a water utility. So, and I would like to stress the importance that the solutions that we promote or we sell has been deployed within the water company. So it's a software designed by water professionals for the water ecosystem or for the water management. So it's like somehow it's like we took this 135 years of experience and we translated it into a set of softwares that really simplify the water management.
Sounds like a good match for you two guys to work together. It's been a good partnership for both parties, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, certainly. So let's move on. Inés is our star. She's the star for this whole initiative here, and certainly we are happy to have you. And I learned that this challenge has been up and running already in Barcelona, which is interesting. New York, of course, you said there's soon going to be some solutions out, decisions, and now in Helsinki, then going to Canada, was it Quebec? Yes.
Exactly.
So how do you see the, since regions often are a bit different and like you said, the needs are different as well, how do you see, do you have any kind of vision already, what's coming out from these challenges in different locations and how you may be able to combine some knowledge from here to knowledge in the US and kind of be a bridge builder as such, I think?
Yeah, well, like mainly this initiative came from the premise that water is everywhere, right? It's a global problem right now with scarcity and quality due to climate change. So this is mainly what connects everyone, you know. And the thing is, we wanted to reach out globally for projects that can be interesting for us. But we're still in Spain, so we needed to grow a bit, you know, and that's why we moved to strategic places for us to find the startups that are suitable for our thesis, investment thesis, for our strategy as a company, and then that can help us grow as a company, but as well can help solve these global problems that we've been talking about, right? So mainly it's the connection that we do with the companies and the different needs from different continents, right?
Very good, very good. I was thinking, since we still have quite a bit of time left, and we'll now go to tough questions for the roundtable. But first, maybe I'll start with the fact that we are all together in this theme, and why University of Helsinki is also involved is the kind of a strong focus nowadays in innovation and startup building and ecosystem creation. And of course, sustainability is one of our core values as such. So we're really keen to support this initiative. But what about IBM, for example? What was the decision you choose to join this initiative, and how do you see, just you have the greenhouse initiative, of course, but in startup kind of funding CVC side, the question is how seriously you take the sustainability issue, and is that one criteria as such, or is it among many criteria?
It always depends on which project we are entering in, but the common thing is that, as you just said, to have an impact on sustainability, it needs to be a joint forces effort. So IBM is very focused around ecosystem, meaning partnering with the partners where we can bring the most value to those partners. So there will be projects that we are not participating in, but when we participate, it's in the form that we support all the technology that's needed in that case, and that we support in the way that we have all the bright people who knows and have the experience on how to build scalable or AI solutions or secure solutions or whatever is needed for the specific purpose. And all that is in different kind of packages for the startups or innovation projects around Nordic and even globally. And this is why we joined an initiative like the Water Challenge, because it has the right purpose, it's the right set of companies, and it's the right thing to do.
Sure. Yeah, certainly it makes sense to all of us. And maybe I'll continue to Vesa, and I know you are in a bank, so and I know you do seed investments as well. And interesting would be like, what are the elements in a startup that makes you tick the box and say, yes, this is right for us to maybe put a seed funding also and take a closer look. Is that something you could share with us?
Well, when talking about from the debt side, because that's where we have definitely, like, I guess, more than 2,000 customers Nordically already that have some kind of growth debt from us, then we, of course, we look pretty much similar criteria like business angels and VCs do, but typically they are looking for 10x, and eventually a bank is happy with 1x. You know, if you get the loan back one day or the other one, then we are happy. So that makes it makes a slightly different approach, and in practice for customers and startup, it means that we are many times able to provide something, whereas the equity investors are not yet. And of course, with the help of local and EU guarantee programs, that helps a lot there. So I would say that the key criteria is anyhow the same, but on top of that we of course look typical cash flow related issues.
All the normal ones. Maybe time to time, at some stage at least, the sustainability would maybe become an issue, since the world is, and we know that.
The sustainability there, whether you all know or not, but Nordea was among the very worst banks in the Europe signing the cornerstone for how the banking industry will move forward regarding sustainability. And our group leadership team members are currently negotiating in COP26 about these issues. And this year we came out with our own concrete carbon neutrality targets for the whole group, meaning that we will totally be carbon neutral when it comes to our internal operation, but our huge we have millions of private customers and 500,000 corporate and SME customers. The whole portfolio, when it comes to lending side and savings and investment side, that will be carbon neutral as well. And there, of course, we cannot do it. We need to do it together with our customers, and there, because the sustainability definitely is our key focus in the group currently. That's why we have green bonds and green loan programs, etc. So it's really not just booming, but it's extremely high on agenda on our all customer meetings going forward. So it's everywhere for us.
Very true, and we already know that there's actually quite a lot of venture capital firms that look sustainability issues very carefully and see there's a value certainly for
if I may interrupt,
yes, please.
Good point that because we have 2.5 years we have organizing every second month for global investors these closed events where we present, let's say, 50 of most interesting companies from our customer portfolio that are looking for equity. And there our recent statistics are showing the same, like you said, that the health area and then sustainability area, they definitely are the top two areas that get most meetings and most interest from global venture partner side currently.
Yeah, very true, very interesting. Chema, I was going to ask you something about like you have a strong relationship with GoHub and the company, the mother company as such. And did you receive a funding investment from GoHub when you started? Did you do that, or did you start by partnering? Because this is quite often an interesting issue for other startups, like how do they get to work with a large corporation? Was it an investment decision or the know-how you have and how to utilize, how to make a win-win situation for both parties to make it successful?
Yeah, well, the way that we collaborate with GoHub and also with Global Omnium, it's really interesting because we have this view from the market, right? Inés mentioned that there are different challenges depending on the region or the continent. So we can enhance the demands of the market based on our existing customers, right? So we are not just doing some business analysis or market trends. We are having discussions with the real customers. So when we identify one problem in one region or in one customer, we can contact GoHub and say, okay, there is this challenge in this region. Why don't you help us or support us to identify like a startup that you have on your radar to support us in this problem? So there is no specific funding. Okay. We introduce this startup into our existing customer or our customer base, and if they are willing to pay or to run a proof of concept with the startup, that's the way it works. So there is no direct foundation from Idrica to GoHub, but so it's the customer itself.
Case,
it's the customer itself which demands the access to this technology. And this is the way that we enrich the portfolio from the GoHub, because these companies, they have the possibility to run real projects in no matter the region. So that's how we scale up in some sort of a way the startups in GoHub. It's a win-win situation.
Absolutely, so, sounds really feasible.
Because it's difficult to have like the portfolio with all the problems and all the situations in the market, and giving the access to startups sometimes help us to come back to the customer and say, hey, I don't have this in my portfolio, but I have just found the right company to help me there. And this is the way that we, scale up, as I said before, the startups.
Yeah. Inés, since you represent GoHub, and there's online, there's more people who are certainly interested in your decision making. You showed some areas that you need to tick these boxes, and of course there's a team gathering to actually choose the winner in each region. But has it been easy or difficult for you? Has there been many cases that you kind of wonder, should we, should not, or is it difficult to make this decision at the end of the day?
Yeah, actually, we're receiving a lot of projects in such a short time, because we launched it in New York, we launched it in Barcelona at the same time, more or less, as in Helsinki. Yeah. So for the investment team, it has been really tough for the
poor
past
guys,
days.
busy.
But it's good. We're getting a lot of different projects in different sectors. One for industry, one is technology for smart water. So we're getting really different type of projects in different places around the world. So it's being very busy, but at the same time, what we want to do is we want to nurture our venture program.
Yes.
So it's a great opportunity to learn about other startups from all over the world, and understand as well the problems or the ecosystems in the different cities that we're launching the challenge.
Exactly, and that's why Santtu was here as well, representing City of Helsinki, and what the challenges, like regional challenges, are. We've had good discussions so far.
Yeah, so at the end, once we finish the challenge, we gather with all of the partners, a group of experts in technology, and that's how we do a bit of the decision making for who's going to be the finalist and who's going to be the winner of the investment.
Right. So is this the first time you do this kind of global round? I suppose it is. I understood, yes. And you've been running the GoHub program before that.
Actually,
in Spain, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah, GoHub was created in 2019, so we're just very young for the moment. It's true that we are always like continually doing a deal flow, like internationally looking for startups. But this has been such a great opportunity to really find partners, find the right partners, which is really important, to find the best startup for us.
I really like your vision. It's like bold and looking globally, and it's good for us, of course, here in the Nordics to participate, and an opportunity certainly for startups to apply for the challenge prize and all that. But Could you share any numbers on how many startups you've been accelerating or funding so far?
Yeah, sure. Since 2019, we have invested in, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in 23 startups, mainly for industry, for digitalization of processes. And we look for 4 main objectives when we invest in startups that they can help us in these 4 different ways. One is process efficiency, then cost optimization, opening of new markets, and improving of products, right? And we, as I mentioned before, we invest from 300K up to 3 million, depending on the stage of the startup, right? And we also have an acceleration program, which we're gonna actually launch it, I believe in for the next year in January, where like 5 to 6 startups, they are in this program, which lasts for 6 months, where we kind of help them develop their startup, help them get their clients, help them internationalize, and as well there's a possibility of doing, as I mentioned before, a proof of concept with Global Omnium, where they can test their technologies, and if they're not a water-related startup, they can open a new vertical in water and in other industries.
It's typically a really good opportunity for any startup to be able to create the proof of concept with a large corporation, and that's good. And maybe for people here and online to keep in mind that if you feel that you are not eligible in this call, in this challenge, if you are too early maybe for this, if you don't have enough revenue, there's certainly still ways to participate in GoHub activities and look into these open calls that happen for earlier stage, maybe the kind of the normal work you do on top of this one.
Yeah, when we have in the radar a startup that we think have potential, but maybe it's not the time for them because they are in a very early stage for us.
Yes.
So, but we keep them in our radar, and we still contact them in the future to see how they've performed and look at possible ways of collaboration or investment as well.
Yeah. Keep them close by. Very good, very good. Maybe I should go back to IBM this time. The way IBM works, we know like really large global organization and offices here and there, and the startup creation of course happens in many countries, but within this initiative and your greenhouse initiative, do you already see a link that you could continue collaboration at some level, or how do you see it happening, envisioning? You are involved in this challenge, but for the future, what's your kind of takeaway or learning from all this?
First of all, to get back to my comment last in the previous ask from you, was we know by experience that when we collaborate or join with others in an ecosystem, it might not be us who bring the first value to everybody, but we will bring value over time. And it is a journey for every startup, any innovation project. It's not from a Tuesday to a Friday and then you have a success. There will be a journey anyway. And there will be a lot of setbacks. And all along that journey, you need somebody to talk to. You need somebody to be, point in the right direction to not lose time or get in a wrong direction at least.
Yeah.
So in our program and how we see this is simply to be there for the right partner at the right time, and that can be on-off issues that we talk about, and it might be more than a year, it might be more than 5 years, but as long as we're there and they have somebody to talk to, they are in a process to develop. And the beauty of all this is all the time when we are together with partners, we do have all the big customers around the world. We do have the platform who can scale. We do have one of the biggest AI engines to provide in this case. We do have all the stuff that is needed, but in a large scale. But even though we have a large scale, a global approach, we are local and we have people on site to talk
Right.
to startups, the right startups, with the right values for them to use at the given point of time when they need it. So I see this as, in terms of sustainability, to find the unicorn who makes the big impact on the problem we have worldwide.
Exactly, and the ecosystem kind of thinking that when you have the right networks, I'm a strong believer in global value networks and people working together regardless of their countries of origin and place where they sit in. You just need to know the right places to tap into and great things can happen. That's often the case.
Especially, and I agree. I must say one of the learnings we have had over years is actually we see very, very good projects who has the potential that you would believe could be global. And small things simply kind of block them to get on stage.
Yeah.
And if they don't have this environment of people or a community or ecosystem to talk to, if they don't have the people who help them over the hurdles they will meet, good ideas get lost.
Very true, very true, and that would be a shame. So we kind of all feel responsible of helping and creating those networks and pushing startups to discuss with corporations and providing more business opportunities for them. Making it a little bit easier, since we know that it's so hard for a startup to knock on a corporate door and find the right people to talk to, and it can take time. I mean, my years at Cognizant Technology Solutions, at best case, we were able to create a partnership with a startup in 6 months. For a startup, that's a long time, even 6 months, but in worst case, it took 1.5 years. So that's a really, truly too long cycle, but at best, it can, of course, provide opportunities, for example, for Nordic startups to get into IBM's radar, open doors in the US, open doors in different continents and all that. So.
And especially if you want to be global, you need a platform to grow in.
Very true, very true, yeah. Vesa, I mean, the bank being involved in this initiative and your kind of guidance in this case is valuable, of course, and we've been looking at different kind of domains and already discussed about the university as well. We have a lot of researchers in this area, water and all that. But how do you see, what's the takeaway for Nordea, for you, after this challenge has been done here? Do you think there will be continuation of discussions?
Yeah, I think and I hope so. And of course, similar thinking like IBM is saying that for us is we really believe in networking and different kind of communities, that when collaborating, you can do so much more. And for us, having market share 80% in Finland and 4,500 startups Nordically, we really want to partner as much as we find relevant partners ongoing basis, because there's the base of our startup customers. It's they are from all sectors, and their ideas are so diverse that the more we find relevant and strong partners, the more customers we found that these partners can help. And I can already now see that we definitely have found relevant deal flow and interesting cases for Global Omni and GoHub already now, even though the process is midway. And then the other way around as well, I can see signs that it's going to help us as well going forward.
That's excellent. That's something I really wanted to hear. Good you said that. So I think I'll dig into, since we have a technology expert here on Spotlight, to ask something about technologies as well. And maybe what's your thinking about 5G and how that is going to reflect, and what's that going to affect in the water industries or industries as such? What's going to happen after 5G is available for everybody?
Well, first of all, I'm not a technology expert,
Almost.
just to be clear. But well, about 5G, I think that it's a really promising technology. I think that the real power of the 5G we will see in 2 or 3 years from now.
Right.
That's my feeling, right? And when we talk about 5G, since we are all of us citizens, we have this feeling that 5G is going to bring more velocity. Okay, so I know 2G, 3G, 4G, and now it's 5G. But I think that 5G is a real game changer. So it's going to be quite different because it's not related to the velocity, because now with the networks that we have a decent video call or streaming or whatever. So it works pretty good, the 4G. So what else is going to bring 5G? So 5G is more related to the way that networks are designed. So telecom networks are being really flexible. So you can bring different, and you can put together different use cases using the same telecom network. So if you have like a massive event and you need access to all the devices in a concert or a venue or something like that, 5G can adapt the network to provide a good service to these people. Or if you need a really dedicated bandwidth for, let's say a medical surgery or something like that, you can ensure the quality of service for this dedicated use case. So this is what 5G brings, like a really ultra flexible networks. So when it comes to industry, I'm pretty sure that 5G is going to change the industry sector, because you can, and I think it's a merge or a combination with other technologies. So 5G, I believe that's going to be a really success technology, because it also comes with IoT technology, artificial intelligence, big data. So the fact that you can have sensors in all parts of the city or the industrial process means that you have a lot of data. But you need to be really agile to process this data and to interact with the assets. So sometimes you have processes that you need to interact in just microseconds. So you need to have this edge computing. That's another technology that comes together with 5G. So I think it's like the momentum that different technologies are bringing together and embraced together, and 5G will be like an enabler for a different use cases. For instance, we are working already in 5G. Here I used to say that 5G is going to use a new radio spectrum. We are deploying and we are rolling out some smart metering using 5G new radio technology. We are one of the first companies doing so in Valencia.
Interesting.
And well, this is to test if 5G is going to bring added value compared to narrowband IoT, which is one of the most mature technologies right now for the communication. So we like to be, ahead of the next steps, and we are just testing new technologies like 5G. But definitely, I think it's going to be key in the industry and also for water.
I really enjoyed your explanation. It's good. Good. Although you mentioned you are not the expert in technologies, but expert enough to explain that. But it seems that, like even 10 years ago, AI, IoT, all these were like buzzwords, everybody. But now it's like business as usual, happening everywhere. And I think that brings us to a topic of smart cities, that I know many of you are involved in smart cities and how you see the future. And there's been role for public sector as well to maybe finance or be the smart city itself. What's going to happen in the future in that domain? From the sustainability point of view, we know there's problems with tourism. Even in Barcelona, it's been closed for a while for tourists. All these kind of sustainability issues versus smart cities, how to take into account the growing population and all. Any views you would like to share on that domain?
Yeah, you can say you asked about 5G as well, and
Oh,
now
sure.
you're asking about how it will impact sustainability. In terms of all that we talk about sustainability, everybody's agreeing on new technology will be the way to solutions about this. But if you actually get to the point, even talking 5G or AI or whatever, it's all about data. And there is a lot of data today.
Yes.
And now 5G is simply extending or expanding that reach of collecting data. The thing is how to act with that data. The thing is how to actually get insight, which makes us make smart decisions.
Right.
And this is actually the hard challenge and why things are not happening from one day to another, because one thing is there's this vast amount of data. The other thing is the people who need to understand. And this is where the point of technology comes in, because people are not able to cope with that amount of data. So if we don't get the technology in and actually handle the data, we are not able to find new smart solution to any of our problems worldwide or locally. So data is the new oil, you could say. Somebody says that. But it's about how to handle that, how to secure that, because it becomes a value as well. It's not only a thing of insight, it's actually a value to some other people, and security becomes the next problem of all this we're doing. And we have seen people already, bad people, taking care of data they shouldn't touch and having an impact, even as we have seen the US, which could have environmental impact on the local societies. So data and security is the corner of whatever we do in this, and this is why it's important that not only we find the right solution to invest in, but also help those who develop to do the right things with this technology.
Good.
And we will do
yes,
that.
Certainly. I mean, that's a really good point you raised, the data issue, and that's something that everybody is puzzled at the moment, like how to make use of the data. And we do at the university, of course, we have a lot of researchers thinking about the same all the time as we speak, and trying to find solutions and figure out how to handle it. But I suppose we today are not able to solve this issue. But anyone else on the smart city side who would like to add something or?
Well, in my opinion, I think that the smart cities concept it's a really challenge because you intend to put together electricity, gas, mobility, water, and generally the authority or the company responsible for this smart city initiative is the mayor of the city of Valencia, the city of Helsinki, and this organization that they have access to all the data. So the way that you build a smart city, you need to put together data from different actors and role players. So it's really difficult to do so. Sometimes, and this is our experience in some markets, is because of marketing, you need to say that your city is a smart city. But then it's not smart at all, because you are just buying pieces of software or startups that support you in some specific part. To me, a smart city is when you put together all these outputs and outcomes and you make decisions, not just having a smart solution for parking or for mobility or for electricity. And a smart city means that you are able to combine all of this. It happens in a water company as well. You have in different solutions. So a smart city has this next level challenge because you are not the owner of the data sometimes. So, for instance, we have examples of a smart city use cases in the city of Valencia, but it's the utility who provides this information. It's not the city of Valencia. So I think that this is the real challenge in the smart cities. And also because there are many startups and many options out there, and every startup uses a different technology or a database or sensor or communication, and then it's really difficult to put this together in what we were saying about data management.
In real life, yeah. I suppose that brings us to end of this discussion and session, because I can see the time is up. And I would like to thank you all for your contribution today. Of course, a reminder for folks online that the Global Water Challenge is on, and please apply if you think you have a solution that is fit for that purpose. But we certainly continue in this premise for the next hour. All these guys are available for discussions and get to know each other. Of course, there's coffee available, and let's just, network. Let's be smart and network. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Irina.
Welcome.